Are you looking for a place?
That creates lifelong friendships.
A place that feels like home.
A place that drives you to new opportunities.
That teaches you skills to improve.
A place that sets the standard.
That challenges you to be better every day.
A place full of opportunity.
We are that place. We are Itawamba Community College, and you belong here.
Good afternoon and Roll Tribe, everyone, as we're getting set for Game 1 between ICC and the visiting Bulldogs of Holmes. ICC comes in with a record of 19-6 overall, 4-2 inside conference play. The Bulldogs 10-10 overall, 6-4 inside conference play. As we're awaiting the Guaranteed Bank opening pitch here being tossed by Alyssa Clift. I'm joined in the ICC Alumni Association and Foundation broadcast booth by my partner in crime, Michael Upton, but then the man that the field's named after here, Coach Andy Kirk, joining us in the booth this afternoon. And guys, welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here. It's a beautiful day to be back out on the ball field.
So waiting in that Guaranteed Bank opening pitch here is going to be in there, and it's going to miss for a ball. It comes your way at 104. That's a 104. First American National Bank opening pitch here between ICC and Holmes. This is Miles, the right fielder, starting things off here for the Bulldogs. Hits that one, it goes foul, and that'll even the count up now at 1-1. We've got Raphael Henry on the camera today running things for us. You got Cal Brown updating social media throughout the afternoon. Follow us on Let's Go ICC on your favorite social media platform. Casey Smith taking photos. You can see photos from today's game and others' games at iccImages.com. This one's going to be fouled off. Now the count will go 1-2.
Miles comes in today batting .362 for the Bulldogs. She's got 14 runs and 21 hits, 3 doubles, and a triple.
So she's battling at the plate right now with a 1-2 count. Wind. We talked about the wind during the Jones game. I think it's a little bit more windy today than it was the last time we were out at the ballpark. As the 1-2 pitch missing outside. 2-2 now is the count. Well, Coach, as a head coach, what's your game plan, or how do you alter your game plan when you have a windy day like today?
Well, today it's blowing straight in from left field, so you're definitely going to have your left fielder and your center fielder playing a little bit more shallow, and you're going to try to pitch to the wind. You know, try to stay away from these lefties and stay inside on the right-handed batters and just let the wind play for you. But being a home field, that's going to be an advantage for us, you know. It's not like today's the first day. They've had lots of practice the last couple of weeks. Coach Owen was talking about they've had a lot of fly ball communication practices the last couple of weeks.
3-2 now is the count. Cliff getting set to deliver the payoff pitch. And just missing high for a ball.
Mighty close one there.
So a nice start to the contest there, and leadoff walk to start. And, Michael, we've talked about it time and time again. Those walks, especially when you start an inning, usually come back and haunt you in these situations.
Yeah, unfortunately, you never want to put these leadoff runners on the base because usually they're leading off for a reason. Contact is part of it, but speed is another. Let's take a look just a second at Miles and see what she's done on the base path so far.
Well, this is Fabry, the center fielder, at the plate now. She shows bunt, takes it, but missing for a ball.
Yeah, Miles is 7 for 7 on stolen bases on the year so far, second on the Bulldogs team, so that is something that ICC is going to have to keep in mind with her getting the free pass to first base.
So 1-0 is the count. Shows this one, and that one's going to miss outside. So Cliff struggling early here to find the zone, and right now if you're Holmes, you just sit there and toss it till she can earn the strike zone.
Yeah, we talked often about early in the game, both pitchers have got to find out what the zone is for that particular umpire, where those corners are.
You hear the wind blowing across the microphone as that pitch in there for a strike. 2-1 now is the count. I say you can, you maybe not. I don't know, that microphone is not registering on the stream right now. So, but if not, it is blowing directly into the face from basically left field to home plate right now. 2-1 is the count from Clift. Bunt, lays it down. There's only one option, and that's going to be going to first, and they get them in time. 3-4 on the sacrifice bunt there. Perfectly executed there, Coach.
That was a great job, yes. Sadie Stegall came, attacked the ball as a first baseman with your second baseman coming over, Jenna Whitfield, and that was just excellent, just like you said. It was ironic, you know, of Cliff walking the first batter because she comes into the game with only 13 walks in 75 innings. With 93 strikeouts, she's second in MACCC in strikeouts. So look forward to get out of it right here.
So this will now be Jones at the plate. She's playing in left field. Runner's going to go down to third, and the third baseman not ready for it. And so that will be a stolen base for Miles. And a break for the Indians as Miles dove in that time. Didn't really pop up quick enough to see that the the ball had gotten out in left field. If not, possibly could have scampered home there. So Holmes being aggressive here early.
Yeah, break for ICC that runner was face down and not looking up.
You just had the great communication on the right side of the infield. There on the left side of the infield, they did a little fake bunt, so the third baseman came over and shortstop didn't have time to get there, and she didn't have time to get back. So, yes, very, very fortunate.
So now with the runner at third, 1-0 is the count. That pitch right down Broadway. No, she called it a ball.
Catcher just turned to ask. Now, I think she did say 1-1, but she didn't put her fingers up yet.
So we are going to go back with 1-1. You have to say she did not show the strike call. Is that pitch up high for a ball? We'll make sure if she shows the count, but we do believe it is 2-1 here. She looked at the board, so she apparently does not disagree with it. So 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out, and a runner at third here for the Bulldogs. We're in the top of the first inning. And that one called a ball.
Yeah, Porter just really frustrated behind the plate trying to figure out what the location here is. You see her looking at the dugout trying to get a little insight on what they can try to do to make this umpire happy.
So waiting the 3-1 pitch here. And that one called a strike after the bat toss, thinking it was ball 4. So 3-2 now is the count.
Definitely a delayed call there on strike.
So now the count goes full here to Jones. As we mentioned, she's in left field. Holmes does have a runner at third. There is 1 out here in the inning. And there is not strike 3.
That's the exact same spot as the one she called before.
Well, of course, when we reference this, we always reference the guy that started the saying, and it is, ironically enough, who we're playing today. Steve Diffie at Holmes. When he calls baseball, softball games, a lot of times he talks about the umpiring crew being consistently inconsistent. Keyword being consistent is what you want at the end of the day, and right now that strike zone is up, down, all around, and about the size of 2 softballs.
You're exactly right, and the umpire behind the plate is very delayed with her reaction on her call, so it's going to be a tough day for us, but this is a perfect thing that Holmes would want. You know, they come into the game. I was looking at some stats. They're 13th in the conference in batting average and 14th in the conference in on base percentage. So we sure don't need to be giving any free passes to help them along the way.
So runners on the corners now for the Bulldogs. This is McGee, the first baseman at the plate, batting in that 4 spot. And that one's a strike.
That one caught that lower right corner. Not sure. Glad to have that one. Didn't get the ones earlier, but glad to have it now.
So 0-1 now is the count here to McGee. Runners on the corners for the Bulldogs. We'll see if the Bulldogs try to go in motion with the runner at first. And now they look back to the runner. They throw to first. The throw home is not going to be in time. So the Bulldogs will place the run, and they'll go up 1-0.
That was a safety squeeze there. The runner was not actually coming on a full suicide squeeze. She saw the ball down, and pitcher did a good job, looked her back, but she was a little bit more. Coach Owens might have wanted to get her in a run down there between third and home just to save the run. But early in the game, giving it 1 run, not the biggest deal in the world. Hoping to get out of it right here.
So runners on first and second now. 2 outs in the inning.
No, just second.
Oh, just second. Sorry about that. Thank you.
As the sack bunt did retire McGee.
Did we start doing ghost runners and I missed that somewhere along the way?
Well, that's what somebody said the other day was I had my the runners on the screen wrong, and I was like, it's just ghost runners. So that first pitch missing for a ball. 1-0 is the count. This is Swilly, the DP at the plate. And now 2-0 is the count. Well, I jokingly told Diffie hopefully we would not have the marathon that we saw in their first game in baseball yesterday, where ICC picked up the 18-12 win in Game 1. If the strike zone stays this way, folks, buckle up, grab an ice cold Coke, because we're going to be here a while. As this pitch fouled back, strike 1.
Sweeney comes in today batting .283 for the Bulldogs. She's got in 60 at bats, she has 17 hits, 3 triples, and leads the Bulldogs with 2 homers. So probably the most power hitter they have, and she's in that DP spot. So got to be careful here with the runner on.
So you got a 2-1 count now. Pitch is on its way, and that's going to be blasted towards the dugout. Got over the protective screening, and never a good sign there, but don't see anybody reacting too big to it, so hopefully it just got in the dugout and caused no damage.
Yeah, it bounced off the back wall and hit right at the feet of the team there, but they all wisely ducked just to be safe.
2-2 now is the count. As this continues to be Sweely at the plate. And there's strike 3.
Gosh.
Had to wait on that one for a second. But a big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout to end the inning for the Indians. Let's keep it here, Michael, and tell us today about the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works starting lineups for the Bulldogs.
All right, as you saw, leading off the top of the first inning was Miles, who's playing in right field today. The second batter was, I'm going to say this right, Fabry in center field, followed by Jones in left field, and McGee, the first baseman. There at the end, Swiley is in the DP position. Batting 6 today for Holmes will be Simpson at third base, followed by Williams at second base. Brewer is catching for the Bulldogs in this game 1, and Cortez, batting in the 9th spot, is the shortstop. The pitcher in the flex position for Holmes today is Josie Aslin. And we'll take a look at her numbers here. She comes into today with a 4.85 ERA, 1 win, 2 losses, and 6 appearances. She's given up 12 runs, 9 of those earned, 10 walks, and has 12 strikeouts. So that is the starting lineup for the visiting Holmes Bulldogs.
And now the starting lineup for your ICC Lady Indians. ICC and Coke. Now that's a winning combination. And Coach Owens hopes he's got that same winning combination put together here in Game 1.
All right, leading off Game 1 for your home Indians is going to be Maddie Porter, the catcher. Followed second by Lakeland Nichols, the center fielder, and then A.B. Marlar in the designated player position. Batting 4th is your third baseman, Taylor Shands. Sadie Stegall is at first today and batting in the 5th position. Ella Duhan, the shortstop, bats 6th. Whitfield is playing second base today and batting 7th. Batting 8th will be Neely Hodum in right field. And wrapping up ICC's lineup in left field is Graham batting 9th. And as you saw, Alyssa Clift is the pitcher in the flex position for ICC today.
So it'll be Maddie Porter to start us off here in the bottom of the first inning. ICC trailing this one 1-0. After, like you said, not a true squeeze play, but kind of just had a half squeeze on, but they were able to get the run across. So Holmes leading the number 17 Indians 1-0 here in Game 1. That first pitch across from Aslin in there for strike 1. So 0-1 is the count. We do welcome those that are watching this afternoon here in Fulton, and do want to say a special hello to those that are watching in favor of the Bulldogs. One of those guys being Steve Diffie, the SID down there at Holmes. Guys, that guy works hard for you down there at home. So the next time you get a chance to see him at a ball game, there's a fly ball, right fielder giving chase, but it's going to go foul. But to finish that thought, next time you see Steve, he's hard to miss. He's a big guy. But next time you see Steve, thank him by buying him an ice-cold Coke and tell him thank you for all the hard work he does for you down there at Holmes.
Call him a big guy because he has a big heart. So
big heart, big kindness,
okay.
7'5".
Yes, sir.
Tall dude. 1-2 now is the count. Ball in the dirt, 2-2 now, the count here.
We do have a nice crowd of Holmes, probably mostly parents, visitors who've come out to join us today in Fulton, so we're glad to see them here on campus as well.
2-2 pitch, grounder third baseman finds it, throws across the way in time for the putout, 5-3 of Porter. So this will bring the center fielder Lakeland Nichols to the plate. Coach, on a dreary day like this, it's always hard to kind of just get a team fired up. I mean, anytime you're on the field, you're supposed to be happy to play, but kind of just sucks a little bit of the energy out of you when you're playing on a day like today.
It does. And then, talking about coming off playing the number 1 team in the country as well, and just everybody loves the sunshine. Y'all know what today is, don't you?
What you got?
Anybody have any idea?
Hold on.
What's today?
It's the 19th.
19th of March.
You got me on this one.
We're stumped.
Today is the last day of winter, boys.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
sun will be out tomorrow. Spring is coming.
Sure
It's coming.
hope so.
Yes, but just like the foul ball Porter hit down the right field line, that wind just took it. So, I mean, we're going to have to beat the ball into the ground and really hit some line drives today to get some offense going.
1-1 now is the count here on Nichols. That pitch high. We're going to go 2-1 now. I see Coach Porter and I think Coach Rags out there in center field out supporting the softball team today. Of course, they'll be on the road next week in the national tournament up in Casper, Wyoming. They'll open it up on Wednesday against Florida Southeastern State College, I believe is their name. That game will be available on ESPN Plus starting at 2:30. Swing and a miss, 3-2 now is the count here on Nichols.
Hey, Coach, you going to give me your ESPN password so I can watch that game?
I can't. I think you and I. What? That's a Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh,
we're gonna
we
be
may
a
be
little
busy.
Yeah.
So y'all be busy.
Yeah. We're
It's
gonna
that
be.
pitch high and a nice job drawing the walk there. And I do want to mention that as well. Our next broadcast will be Saturday, but Wednesday you guys will be treated to baseball with Michael and Andy working the game there. So appreciate you guys stepping up for us with us being on the road with basketball. As now this will be Marlar, the DP, coming to the plate. It was a walk issue to Nichols. She's got speed on the bases. Marlar, line drive, but right at the left fielder. And unfortunate, that wasn't about another foot to the right, or that would have dropped, and Nichols had been off to the races.
Yeah, I thought that one was going to really do a little extra, but that wind got it. It hung it up just a little, allowed that left fielder to kind of get underneath it there at the last second.
And, Eddie, those are the type of hits we're looking for today with this wind blowing the way it is.
That's exactly right. Just like you said, that's part of softball right there. You hit one on the nose and just carried right to her.
This is Shands at the plate now. Runner will go to second, and Nichols will get there without an issue. So a stolen base puts the runner in scoring position now. Shands playing third base. Well, not going to question her power because in the Jones game I said there's going to be no way you're going to hit a home run to left field. And shortly thereafter, she parked one out there. So 1-0 is the count here to Shands. Looks at that pitch. It's in the dirt. Nichols tried to check up, but she will advance to third after the ball got away from the catcher. And so now ICC trying to answer the run they give up in the first half of the inning. Base hit would be huge here for the Indians. Bulldogs trying to get out of here with no damage done. That one fouled off. Strike one.
That was a great job of base running. She got a great lead off, and once that catcher was unable to get a hand on it, she just continued to go to third, and that puts a lot more pressure on the pitcher and the catcher right here with a runner at third instead of a runner at second.
And that time ball's going to get away, and that's going to allow the run to score. And a nice job answering there by ICC.
Yeah, that base run is huge. Nichols came into today leading the Indians with 19 stolen bases. She steals one and gets two more off some pass balls and things in the dirt. So good job heads-up base running.
So ICC does answer to tie the ball game, 1-1 now. Shands did swing at that last pitch, so it's a 2-2 count here to the third baseman. Also see Coach Wilson, the men's basketball coach, out there in the outfield enjoying things. He might be a little chilly out there wearing shorts today.
Yeah, when even Coach Owens is wearing pants today, that tell you the wind is whipping a little bit.
So now the count goes full here to Taylor Shands, the third baseman. And looks like time is taken here. And
equipment issue, perhaps. She's adjusting something on her left wrist, taking it off. And
all this new technology, man, I'm telling you.
And that's the thing about it. You can have all the technology in the world, but sometimes you forget to put something on the charger.
Yep.
And it kind of goes bad on you. Been there, done that. Yeah. We'll do it again numerous times. And that looks like they are going to check out or changing the wrist of the catcher there.
Go back, talk about Shands the plate. Talk about how she powered that one to left on Friday. She came back later in that game and took another one to right, carrying with the wind blowing and did not carry it foul. So she got two big home runs and 5 RBI in that game for the Indians to beat the number one team in the country, Jones.
So now we're back to play here. 3-2 is the count. Swing and a miss. Strike three and a clutch Renaissance Bank strikeout there to end the innings. But the Indians do pull even after Nichols walks, steals a base, scores after 2 pass balls. 1-1 is the score. We'll take a break here from Renaissance Bank and be back with more right after this.
That's what you do, but I just don't know which way to turn. I'm about to dance in my pain.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Move now to the top of the second inning. Simpson, Williams, and Brewer scheduled up here for the Bulldogs of Holmes. Bulldogs score a run in the top half. ICC scores in the bottom half of the first. Both teams taking advantage of a walk and a stolen base in the inning. So now it'll be the third baseman, Simpson, coming to the plate. Clift threw some good pitches, just couldn't quite figure out the strike zone that the umpire was wanting to call. And that one's going to miss outside as well.
Simpson comes in today batting .319 for the Bulldogs. She's got 15 hits, leads the team with 4 doubles, and also has 5 RBIs to her credit so far.
So 1-0 is the count. That one runs back in. Yeah.
Crowd isn't happy.
Yeah, and neither is coach. That's one of those where you yell something at your team, but direct it to home plate umpire there. That was a good pitch. I'm sorry. That was a good pitch. We've seen her throw that numerous times for strikes, and Porter getting a little upset behind home plate. And so that's just one of those, you know it, Coach, one of those opportunities come out there, talk to your girls, get them refocused, but also kind of just have a message for the home plate umpire.
Exactly right. It looks like the umpire's only going to give them one half the plate because that was the same curveball that she threw to right-handed hitters and was getting the call out here. That ball was inside, but she's sitting on the inside because the umpire sits on the inside so they don't hit with as many foul balls. And it was off the plate just slightly maybe, and she did not get the call. So you just got to adjust. That is the same spot. And they're just going to have to figure out. I don't know where it's missing at, but at least she's talking to the catcher so Porter can figure out because Clift is filling it up.
I'm going to say, and eventually you got to give a pitcher, I mean, if they're working for that spot and it's close, you got to reward the pitcher for consistency. But as you said, at Porter, it's 2 things. Keep your cool and then communicate with the umpire. It's that pitch. Yep. Oh, but called a strike.
She went back kind of a screwball just down the middle, stay away. It might just be what you're going to have to pick. Pick one half and just pitch to it if the umpire's not going to call it. Maybe she'll loosen up here in a little bit with umpire.
So 3-1 now is the count here to Simpson, the third baseman. And that went in there for a strike. I think that was just Alyssa being mad and just throwing back and chunking it.
That one had a pop on it.
So now the count goes full at 3-2. Well, Coach, let's talk about it from a coach's perspective. As you know, it can be frustrating as this pitch fouled off. We'll sit at 3-2. How do you keep your players from letting those frustrations set in and kind of just affect the way they play?
You know, there's 3 things you're not able to control when you show up at the ball field. That's the umpires, that's the playing conditions, and that's how much you're going to hustle and stuff. So you got to be able to, you know, just phase it out and know that it's going to be called the same way both teams.
This one's popped up and drifts foul by about a foot down the line. So a break there for ICC. If that one drops, probably going to drop for a double. 3-2 to stay the count.
Sometimes you just got to throw it down the middle, you know, and make hitters just have to swing the bat because, you know, they come in. I was looking, they're 14th in the state in runs scored, so they're not scoring a whole lot of runs, so no free passes. You're just going to make them hit their way today.
So winning the 3-2 pitch here. This one grounded, shortstop will come up, make the play, throw over, is in time.
Yeah,
nice stretch.
Good job by Duhan to charge and attack that ball because it was kind of in a shallow spot. She got to it quickly, got the ball over to first.
And that's what you said, Coach. Put it up there, let them hit it, let your defense take care of it behind you. That's a nice stretch over there by Sadie Stegall. 6-footer able to stretch out and rob a base hit there.
Yeah, Stegall being a dual sport athlete, playing on a volleyball team as well and getting over here and is doing a great job for the softball team this spring.
And that pitch in there for a strike, as this is now Williams, the second baseman, at the plate.
Sometimes it can be hard for a strikeout pitcher to tell them that you're just going to throw it down the middle until the umpire adjusts, because they're not used to getting hit.
Yeah.
They're used to, as many strikeouts as Alyssa has this year.
There's a grounder to second. Whitfield comes up, tosses over for the out. 2 away.
Very similar play there with that slow rolling grounder, and good job by this defense to go and attack these balls and not wait on them.
Does it look like the ball is kind of, when it's taking that first bounce, is kind of just almost sticking and dying a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking
Feels like a
exact
wet
same
field.
thing, yeah.
And so now with 2 outs, and we can see how that'll play later in the game, especially in a bunting situation, could really cause some issues. So 2 away, and this is going to be Brewer, the catcher, at the plate. Listen to that first pitch, missing low for a ball.
Yep. If the playing conditions continue like that, your infielders even going to have to play a little more shallow too, especially on the corners, just for the bunts, because they're not going to get away. And you're going to tell your catcher to be ready to pop out of there to field any bunt that might not get very far away from home plate.
Swing and a miss, evens at the count now at 1-1. Brewer batting in that 8 spot, catching here in the first of 2 games this afternoon on the ICC Sports Network. Appreciate Raising Cane's being one of the sponsors bringing you this action this afternoon. This pitch fouled back, 1-2 now is the count.
Brewer catching today. She's not had a lot of plate appearances and opportunities for the Bulldogs. This is only her 9th official at bat so far of the year.
So she will dig in here with a 1-2 count, 2 outs and nobody on in the top of the second. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Huge Renaissance Bank strikeout there for Clift. Big strikeout there as we'll take a break here from Renaissance Bank and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
Kirk Herbstreit is a man of many talents. Not only an athlete and a sportscaster, but also an expert cartographer, an amateur alchemist, a surprisingly gifted poet.
What rhymes with encroachment?
But his true talent lies in the art of banking.
With Renaissance Bank's great products, rewards, and easy-to-use online tools, every transaction is a masterpiece.
You might refer to Kirk as a Renaissance man.
But I call myself a Renaissance man.
When injury knocks you out, Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi will be there for you every step of the way. We are here to get you back. Back in the game. Back in motion. Back to your life. Our elite team of orthopedic specialists will work side by side with you, educating you about your treatment plan, utilizing advanced technology, and providing you with a successful path to recovery. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi. We will get you back.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we move now to the bottom of the second inning. ICC and Holmes tied at 1. For ICC, it'll be the 5, 6, 7 batters due up. Stegall, Duhan, and Whitfield. There's a swing on the first pitch. Grounder to the shortstop. Throw across the way is in time for the out. That's what you like of a pitcher. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Yeah, and as, offensively, after you've seen what the umpire did to one of the top pitchers in the state, you might want to be a little more patient here too.
Yeah.
I know you want to get a lot of hits, you're excited, but you might want to take a few pitches, just see if the same strike zone it's going to be for your offense.
Now this will be the shortstop, Duhan, at the plate. She takes that first pitch, and this will be called a strike.
That's that ball away that umpire's getting on the inside, and she's kind of a shorter umpire. She might be getting blocked by the catcher a little bit when it's away from her.
And that one missing for a ball. 1-1 now is the count.
But you're right, as we said earlier, those right-handed batters are going to have to watch that, and the left-handed batters can just take it all day and look at it.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, nobody on here in the bottom of the second. This one ripped hard, and that's going to get through for a base hit. Nice job there by Duhan.
Picks up her 18th hit of the year. Gives ICC an important base runner here in the second inning.
First hit of the game for either team. As this will bring up now Jenna was Lauren Brown, who was starting at second this year, but a injury has knocked her out of the lineup, unfortunately. But I will say this, Jenna has stepped in. It's that next man up, next lady up mentality. And Jenna has done just that. She came in with a big-time out late in the game to help ICC sweep the number 1 team in the country, and she's had some timely hits this season.
Yeah, she's batting .316 with only 19 at bats, so really productive. 6 hits, a double, 4 RBI driven in, so she's really contributed since she's been put into that starting role.
She's got a 2-0 count now. Runner goes, throw down is in time. Nice throw there.
I was just about to make the comment that Mr. Upton was talking about how the catcher did not have very many at-bats last half inning, that she might be back there for defensive purposes because ICC is second in the state in stolen bases, so they know we're going to run. And
there was a prime example.
That was a prime example.
So now the count goes 2-1 with 2 outs and nobody on here for the Indians. This one fouled right back at us. 2-2 now is the count on Whitfield.
But I can tell you, knowing Coach Owens, he's not going to stop running.
Not at all.
He's going to be aggressive.
And Duhan is a good runner. She already had 10, so that's her first time of the year caught stealing.
So winning the 2-2 pitch here from Aslan. Little off-speed pitch, and Whitfield knew it. The umpire agreed, and a nice job there with the changeup for strike 3. We'll take a break, hear a few words from our sponsors, and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
They say Diet Coke is a mom's drink. Well, you copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music. Now, copy her drink. Drink what your mama gave you.
Today tastes like staying in. And it never tasted this good.
All right, Little Caesar's Crazy Puffs. Whoa!
Oh! Is this little Becky?
Birthday cake comes in. It is so cute. My dad's eating Crazy Puffs again. Don't ask.
Whoa. Have you tried the new bacon ones?
There are bacon ones?
Pizza.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we move now to the top of the 3rd inning. 1-1 is the score. Each team scoring after a walk, stolen base, and ICC cashing in on a couple of pass balls to be able to tie it up at 1-1. 9-1-2 batters due up here for the Bulldogs, Cortez, Miles, and Fabry. This is Cortez, who is playing shortstop today. Swings and misses for strike 1. Well, as we talked about, the ball is kind of acting weird whenever it hits the ground, so it's going to be a tough day for the infield as they're kind of all slow rollers, anything hit on the ground. Is that pitch in there for strike 2. The wind was gusting earlier, but it's now kind of calmed down. Actually, the wind not blowing at all. The flag is out there in left field, kind of just hanging out.
And the clouds back to the west have kind of lightened up, so maybe that's tied in with the wind.
0-2 pitch. That one missing high. Not a bad spot to miss there after an aggressive first swing at the at-bat.
I was just thinking that the wind might have been blocked by the golf carts in center field and keeping it in here.
Yes,
you know.
we can show you all those.
Hey, we love that support, though.
This may be the largest of the armada we've had so far this season.
Swing and a miss for strike 3. Big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout there, the 3rd of the game for Clift. Does that put her over 100 on the season?
That's going to put her at 96.
Okay.
She had 93 coming into today.
Okay, I was thinking 98 coming into today, so close.
She'll get there before the day is over.
I like it. So 1 out and nobody on here. That pitch finds the outside corner for a strike, and let's go ahead and talk about it. As you see, there's even more golf
Another
carts coming
cart
out now.
shows up.
But Andy, good job by Alyssa to not get frustrated, get focused, and figure out this zone so far.
That's exactly right. Now she's back to the top of the lineup, and she's just going to have to pound it. That's it. She's going away with the screwball now from the left-handers because that umpire is giving up. Notice the umpire, too, is not giving anything down.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, she is a little bit shorter, so maybe the catcher's blocking her, but up she's calling. But anything down is all been balls, regardless where it's at. But, yeah, it seems like she's giving both sides on the outer part.
0-2 pitch, and they're going to appeal. She did not go.
We'll say.
But you did have Porter set up far outside there. They are trying to, as Coach Andy said, trying to work that outside against these batters because they're not going to get it inside on these lefties.
Yeah, she set up on the white. She was in the other batter's box right there, but you never know. They might chase that. It's a good 0-2 pitch.
1-2 now is the count here to Miles. She walked, stole a base, and scored back in the first inning. This one popped up. And, just off the glove of the left fielder who goes diving into the fence down there as
Graham looks to be okay.
Looks to be okay.
What a great effort right there. That's just she's not diving on this dirt or on the grass. That's in that warning track material too. It's not the softest there is. That's made to get water off the field and stuff. And she was really going after that ball.
And that's what you need in this level is those little extra plays that steal an at-bat from somebody. But instead now Miles will come back with an extra chance. 1-2 is the count. Cliff's pitch popped up off the netting, and it will get out of play, and we'll sit at 1-2 once again. Well, we talked about the fleet of vehicles out there. They're adding another one to it.
Yeah, one more. A little gator to join the golf carts and the, what do you call the orange one, the Husqvarna out there.
9. That might be a career high of vehicles out there in the outfield. And that one just missing outside, and 2-2 now is the count.
I think I've got a fundraising idea for Alumni Foundation, and everybody.
Okay.
Set up a toll out there.
Yes.
A little toll, take a little 10-cent quarter here, there, we'll hurt.
So 2-2 now is the count here to Miles. Cliff's pitch. Hit, but grounded foul. And so Miles and Cliff got a good little battle going here. Nice job fouling off a few pitches, actually 3 of those now, in this at-bat by Miles to keep the AB alive.
Yeah, she's working, knowing that she's going to get those outside pitches, and so she's working to foul those off and just get a piece of them and stay alive.
So the count will stay 2-2. 1 out and nobody on here for the Bulldogs. In the top of the third inning, 1-1 is your score. Liner and the third baseman there to scoop it up for out number 2.
Yeah, Shans just has to take about one step forward, catch that one right in the glove.
So nice job coming back to win the battle there by Cliff to get the out. 2 away now, and this will be Fabry coming to the plate. She is the center fielder. She had a sacrifice bunt in her previous at-bat. That sacrifice bunt was being brought to you by the ICC Baptist Student Union, reminding you of the ultimate sacrifice paid for our sins. That is the ICC BSU. They meet Monday nights at 7:07 in Fine Arts here on campus. First pitch high for a ball. 1-0 is the count here. 2 outs, nobody on for the Bulldogs. Game 1 of 2 this afternoon.
Clifton Porter still trying to work that outside at these left-handed batters.
This one fouled off, and thank goodness we got the netting up there as that one went right towards the lineup of Bulldogs in the dugout. 1-1 now is the count. Wind picking up, now blowing into the ballpark. Basically from the scoreboard to home field is where it's blowing. One pitch from Clift. That one in there for a strike.
This is definitely where you want to be facing Fabry, and with 2 outs, nobody on. She's their leading hitter and 12th in the state at a .433 average, and leads them in stolen bases. So keeping her off base here, she can still be a 2-out rally by herself. Be big.
1-2 pitch. And there's strike 3. Another Renaissance Bank strikeout for Clift. Big one there to end the inning. That is going to be the 4th of the game for Clift. Oh, it's still going to be quite the riddle for batters to figure out today, as we're going to take a break as the 10th vehicle will come out to the outfield. You see there now in center field. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this.
It's the Fast Break Sports Show that starts your day. Mississippi Sports Today, Tuesday through Friday at 9. And if you don't catch it at 9, the MST podcast is on wherever you listen, with a team of hosts like no other.
For the folks that are listening, there is egg salad, but Drew is bringing a refrigerated, a pack. So
it's going to be refrigerated.
Egg salad, 24-hour egg salad. We're dropping like flies.
Join Craig and the guys for Mississippi Sports Today on Super Talk 101.9.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as ICC, we head to the bottom of the third inning. I will say this, one thing the umpire is doing is not stalling or not taking much time between innings, as this game moving quite quickly right now.
We've seen that a couple times this year, Adam. The pace of play has been really good this year.
Letting Coach Chad Case, former ICC softball coach, now AD here at ICC, who is leading the Armada out there in center field, know that he does have the all-time high record of 10 vehicles out there in center field. That pitch, wow, don't know where it missed, but caught a ball. 2-0 now is the count.
This is Hodum, right fielder today, getting a start. She hasn't had very many of those for the Indians, but 4 plate appearances, a couple runs, and 3 hits in those, so pretty well when you're 3 for 4.
That pitch right now, Broadway, 2-1 now is the count. No outs, nobody on here in the bottom of the third. Coach Case saying, proud moment. 2-1 pitch, hammered right side, but it's going to drift foul and get out of play. Now the count will go 2-2.
Talking about former softball coaches, I got to see first lady of one of our former fast pitch coaches, Tilda Bouchelon, this morning for a few minutes and talked to her about Teddy. Told her to try to keep him straight. She said that's impossible, and I agree.
That's what I was going to say.
Right.
Teddy is Itawambian for trouble. As that pitch missing low and inside for a ball. 3-2 now is the count here to Hodum. Three-two pitch coming, and they're going to call it strike 3 as she was headed down. And we said it, guys. That umpire has that big-time delay on her strike call. And that's going to be the third Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game. And a nice start to the inning there by the Bulldogs. And Coach Owens got to be careful over here as he is expressing himself quite a bit on that last strikeout call.
I said the umpire was giving the up pitch more than the low pitch, but that one was really up. Then you never want to see a strikeout, but at least your number 8 hitter did run 6 pitch at bat there. That's to run the pitcher's count up. So
this is Graham at the plate. That first pitch, you're going to say she pulled back, and we'll take it for a ball. 1-0 is the count. Graham playing in left field, batting in the 9 spot.
What did Steve Diffie say about these umpires?
Consistently inconsistent is what Diffie likes to say. And again, we're not making fun of. We're just telling the story of the game.
Exactly.
And because we're saying it is going a little bit both ways, and Holmes has done the better job of being a little bit more patient at the plate. Mm-hmm. As that pitch across for a strike, 2-1 now is the count. Because ICC early on was chasing those pitches that were a little bit out, and we're getting some little routine outs there. And you said it as a coach, sometimes you got to say, hey, let's take some pitches here.
That's exactly right. You just got to let her hopefully work herself into trouble. But, Holmes has a good pitching staff. They come into the game as their pitching staff has a 3.22 ERA, which is 7th in the state. We're 9th in the state. We're throwing our ace pitcher. I think they still have another really good pitcher that could come in this game or go game 2. So they're doing a good job of throwing strikes. But we got to find some base runners.
That pitch finds the outer edge. 3-2 now is the count. 1 out, nobody on here in the bottom of the third. 1-1 is the score. 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Big time clutch strike out there. Back to back, actually, if you go back to the previous inning. Renaissance Bank strikeouts. Renaissance Bank, they are the bank that understands you. You can find out why by visiting RenaissanceBank.com. They remember FDIC. So now back to the top of the lineup here. This is going to be Porter, who grounded out 5-3 in her first at bat. Trying to spark the bats here as that pitch missing low for a ball.
To hit on what you were saying about umpires, sometimes people yell at the umpires. They're humans too. They make mistakes. Coaches will get on the umpires, and it's not anything personal. It's just, trying to get them to be focused the way that you want on the zone that you want or safe or out, but they do make mistakes. When the game's over, it's over for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
But, both coaches are working them, and that's just part of their job. I've had many meetings with the other coaches, and we talk about if one of them's yelling, the other one's not yelling, that some people in the stands don't think that you're working very hard if you're not getting on the umpires.
Yeah, and sometimes you get onto them, the worse they get in your favor.
Exactly. That is true.
So 2-1 now is the count. This one popped up. It's going to drift and get out of play. And, Coach, that's kind of a good point. We can extend the conversation through the break here if you want to. But as a head coach, how do you figure out, okay, how can I talk to this home plate umpire? How can I work him a little bit? Because, of course, you being a basketball coach, being a basketball guy, you got your choir boys out there that just goes up, and then you got your ones that kind of make them laugh a little bit, buddy them up, and then you got the ones that just try to intimidate them. How do you figure out what works best?
You guys got to get to know them on a personal level before games, in between innings, after games, just find out their personality of who can take some and who's not able to take any.
And that is going to be a walk issued there to Porter, a 2-out walk and a nice at-bat by Porter to be able to foul off some pitches and extend the inning here.
Yeah, there are some umpires that them from experience that you tell your team that don't say a word. Just play the game. Just get after it. Play as hard as you can because, they're not going to listen to you, so there's no use in doing it. And there are some that like to joke around, have a good time, and enjoy it, and they know. They're the ones that be honest with you and say, hey, I missed a call, and then you may not be happy at the time, but you do appreciate that. And you say, hey, just try to do better next time. And people don't realize how many errors us as coaches make, of missed calls, of bad decisions. I said during my career, I probably had more runners thrown out at home than anybody else during that time period. But we were going to push the issue, and if the defense made a play, they made a play. And you just tip your hat to them and go on.
This is Lakeland Nichols at the plate with a 2-0 count, runner at first. That pitch in there for a strike. So say you do have a new umpire. This is one of the new ones that we've seen this season. I think the guy on the second base right now, another one of the new ones there. How do you fill them out during the game? How do you kind of figure out the new ones?
You saw a very veteran move from a younger type coach with Coach Owens when he went out to talk to Cliff there early in the game, of talking to her, but really talking to the umpire and letting them know to be heard and stuff. And usually they'll either give you that look, or they might give you a little warning or call you in between innings if they don't want to hear anything anymore. If not, you just keep going until you find out what their, I guess you'd say, kind of their buttons are.
Yeah.
What you can push.
Nana hadn't helped you figure that out a little bit, has she?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
2-2 is the count with 2 outs. I'm going to stop the conversation there before you and us both get in trouble.
That's exactly right. But, yeah, and as now the umpire at third is at second. You talk to them during game one, trying to figure them out a little bit. If it's the first time they've called your game, and just, learn a little bit about them, where they're from, and, just try to get on their good side.
Yep.
It ain't like the old days, where you can give them money or not.
Oh,
just
yeah,
kidding.
you come up there, shake their hand, have a $20 in their hands. 2-2 stays the count after some foul balls here by Lakeland, trying to keep the at-bat alive. Hits a grounder, second baseman finds it, throws over, is just in time. And the Bulldogs get out of the inning with no damage done after a 2-out walk, 4-3 on the putout of Nichols. We'll take a break and come back with the top of the fourth inning. But let's hear from Little Caesars and be back with more right after this.
Try Little Caesars Stuffed Crazy Crust. Everyone loves it, including Justin Jefferson and all his friends.
Stuffed crust? Buttery garlic spread?
That looks mighty delicious, Justin. It sure does, Mr. Pumpernickel. And at $9.49, it's the lowest price in stuffed crust with no strings attached. No strings attached? You want a piece of me?
No, Mr. Pumpernickel. Justin, run.
Order delicious stuffed crazy crust for $9.49 and get your game day delivered with Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
When injury knocks you out, Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi will be there for you every step of the way. We are here to get you back in the game, back in motion, back to your life. Our elite team of orthopedic specialists will work side by side with you, educating you about your treatment plan, utilizing advanced technology, and providing you with a successful path to recovery. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi. We will get you back.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we move now to the top of the fourth inning. ICC and Holmes in a pitcher's duel here. 1-1 is the score. You have to go all the way back to the first inning when it was Miles who walked, stole a base, advanced on a sacrifice bunt, and eventually scored on a ground out by McGee. That was back in the first inning. And then you go to the bottom half of the first inning. It was a walk to Nichols. She stole second and ended up at third on a pass ball, and then came home on another pass ball. And that's where we're at now in our Renaissance Bank scoring update. This will be Jones, McGee, and Swilly due up here for the Bulldogs. Is that pitch up high for a ball?
Jones, the left fielder, walked in the top of the first inning and advanced to second, but was left stranded there.
So 1-0 is the count here. Cliff still in the circle here for ICC. Is that pitch missing outside for a ball? 1-1 now is, 2-0 is the count.
Well, I have a little break here. I don't know if you talked about the new coach at Holmes.
I have not. Let's go ahead and mention that.
Matt Hudson is the new first-year coach here at Holmes. He has been around Mississippi for a long time. He was at Pillow Academy for many years. We had several recruits here, Grayson Wells being one that played ICC. Very successful high school coach. Been at Winona Christian the last couple of years. He took a few years off while his daughter was playing high school just so he could see all of her games and follow her around, and really didn't want to coach his daughter in high school.
I understand.
But super, super good guy. And, of course, he's taking over the program, so he's just like Coach Owens. He's going to have to put his stamp on it and get his players in here as he goes along.
2-1 now is the count after that last pitch called a strike. Jones pops this one up, and it's going to go foul and will get out of play. Hodem just couldn't quite get to it quick enough there. 2-2 now is the count. Again, that wind kind of just carrying it away from the outfielders.
Definitely blew that ball. Coach Hudson's assistant coach, Katie Mitchell's at first base over here, was a just extraordinary high school pitcher at Kosciuszko High School, won several state championships, and then she played at one of our sister JUCOs we won't mention to help them in recruiting or anything, but she's the one that's really helping their pitching staff. You can tell. I think the umpire lost the count there a little bit, or
I think the umpire has lost their clicker. Just judging by the way she was reacting at the start of the inning, looked like me when I'm leaving the house, checking to make sure I have my keys, my phone, and my wallet. She was kind of just checking around, and I think she's found it now. As now the count goes 3-2.
Yeah, we call that the Jim Ingram to make sure you've got all your pieces.
Yes. 3-2 now is the count. Pitch on its way. This one fouled right back at us, and we'll sit at 3-2 once again. Well, glad we got the new netting up and the new facility here, because that would have been quite the adventure in the previous setup. And we do encourage you, if you have not made it out here to a ball game this season, we do want you to come out and check things out here. The new facility there's a ground ball and a nice grab over there at third. Throw across the way is in time for out number one. But, yeah, great facility here.
Yeah, if you have not come out to Andy Kirk Field this year to see everything we've got, please, you got several more opportunities. You can go to letsgoicc.com, check out all the schedules for all our sports. We've still got softball and baseball going and women's basketball in the playoffs.
So with one out now, this will be McGee who comes to the plate. She grounded out 1-4, but did drive in a run in her previous at-bat.
That was a great play for Shands at third base. That ball was hit really sharp. And if you remember, part of her growth early in the season is she would catch that ball and throw it as soon as she got it. Yep. She'd rush it there. She took a shuffle, and threw the girl out by plenty of steps there. And that's just a young team is learning how to win, how to play together. And, man, they have improved so much since game one to this point of the season.
And that's what you want as a coach, a young team to continue to grow around some of the sophomores that's on the team as well. As now the count goes 1-1 here to McGee. Big, healthy swing and a miss there by McGee. 1-2 is the count now with one out and nobody on here in the top of the fourth.
Yeah, and some of these sophomores didn't get a lot of playing time last year, or they were role players and have had to step into main players, and that's a big difference.
And that pitch just missing outside, maybe up a little bit too much for the umpire's liking. 2-2 now is the count.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Coach. We've seen players like Sadie Stegall, who were role players last year, become everyday starters and really produce both on the field and at the plate.
This one's popped up, and a diving catch made by Hodem to rob the base hit.
Great effort there. She's moving to her left and dives underneath that one.
Go back and look at that one.
Dun-dun-dun.
Yes. A great play out there for Hodem, as we talked about, maybe getting her first start in the outfield this season. And, Coach, you got to love a play like that.
Man, I'm telling you what, if that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what will. But talking about the role players and the team, that's the one thing this team has bought in. Whether they're playing, they all know, with the free substitution rule, at any time they can come in the game, and they have stayed locked in. And, man, because that play in right field is just, you're talking about her first start out there, to make that play just get you more playing time, and it really steps up your teammates in practice to, try to match that intensity, because if that ball gets by you, you're looking at double, maybe a triple in this ballpark on a day like today, which is a huge to get any kind of extra base hit.
This one slicing foul, 0-2 now, will be the count, as this is Sweely, the DP at the plate. She struck out looking to end the first, trying to redeem herself here. ICC trying to get a 3-up, 3-down inning here in the top of the fourth to see if they can get the bats fired up here. 0-2 is the count. Pitch coming, and that one drifts high for a ball.
Yeah, Sweely's an outstanding pitcher for this Bulldog team. I assume we will see her later today, but she's also leading the team with a little bit of power. She's got a couple home runs, so taking her opportunity as a DP in game one.
Sun trying to peek out here at Andy Kirkfield. 1-2 pitch on its way, and that one's going to drift high. 2-2 now is the count.
Talking about a pitcher DP that's having a great season as far as one of our alumni is Madison Jenkins at Mississippi College. She is throwing game ones on division weekends and hitting home runs. One game she got the shutout and hit the solo home run to win the game recently and stuff, and they're having an outstanding season down there, and love to see a great end to somebody's career. That's
Absolutely.
what she's having.
Super proud of Jenkins and everything she's doing there. This one hit hard, hit high, hit deep, hit foul, and the third baseman, just in and out of her glove that time. And guys, again, that the ball, when it gets up in the air, it's knifing on you a little bit, and you can hear the wind blowing, and the flag is blowing out there in the outfield. But it's going to be one of those tough play, but probably should have been made there.
Well, she got underneath it, and then I don't know if the wind adjusted. It just came back on her at the last second and went off the edge of her glove.
Yeah, it's one of those Shans would love to have back again, because she makes that play 9 times out of 10. There's strike 3, though. A huge Renaissance Bank strikeout for Clift. That's going to be the 5th of the afternoon.
Gives her up to 98.
So she's got 98 now in the season. Speaking of Renaissance Bank, let's take a break and hear from them and be back with more right after this.
Another great Saturday of college football.
You're always pushing yourself. There's no time to rest. You keep moving forward. The only thing better than your last accomplishment is your next.
What's next? What's next?
What's next?
So, Allie, what's next?
I guess we'll see.
Find a bank that's as excited about your future as you are. A bank that asks,
what's next?
Renaissance Bank. Understanding you.
Keep watching. Okay, where's the remote?
Ugh, it's under her arm.
I'm gonna go for it.
So close.
Oh, maybe he can get it. Guess not.
I mean, can you blame him? We're delicious.
Delicious and sugar-free.
Delicious and caffeine-free. Yep. Anyway, about that remote.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we head now to the bottom of the fourth. A.V. Marler will start us off here. It'll be Marler, Shans, and Stegall due up. As that pitch missing for a ball. Adam Gore, Michael Upton, and Andy Kirk here in the ICC Alumni Association and Foundation broadcast booth. Remind you, if you'd like to contribute to ICC, visit iccms.edu/alumni. As that's going to be a grounder, foul out for out number 1. Very dangerous bat that's been kept quiet today, as that one was hit hard, and the third baseman was playing deep that time, was able to get the out.
She got a good hop, too. That ball bounced right up to her, and I tell you, when you start a game and your pitcher, you want to try to get the pitcher to tell her that you don't want the leadoff hitter to have their third at bat by the 5th inning. If that happens, you know you're having trouble. Both these pitchers, I mean, we're just right now in the 4th inning. We're just right in the middle. This is our number 4 hitter, and for the second time. So they are way ahead, of course, of where you would, what you want to be. Yeah, what any coach would ask right here.
That pitch missing outside.
Now, being ICC fans, we're trying to jinx them to see that we can start getting some more base runners. We got to get some pressure on them. That's what we've been about all years, people getting on base and putting pressure on the other team.
This is Shans at the plate. Listens to that pitch, outside edge for a strike. Again, just you don't know. You just don't. I mean, again, we try not to harp on it, but again, it's just telling the story of the game today. Is that the strike zone's kind of floating all over the place? Is that one off the netting?
You're talking about some of the comments you can make as a coach. Sometimes you can just let your fans do the ones that sit behind home plate. And I was very fortunate during my time here to have some very faithful fans that stayed behind home plate, and they kept the umpires pretty honest back there.
2-2, grounder to the shortstop. Oh, nice play. Comes across and will get the out. That one took an awkward hop away from her once it got to her, but a nice job over there at short by Cortez to record the out.
We got a good contingent of our volleyball team and coaches down there behind home plate today, so maybe we can get them to step up and help Coach Owens out like that a little bit maybe.
And so now with 2 away, this is going to be Stegall at the plate. She stands in, takes that first pitch for strike. 0-1 is the count. Coach Kirk mentioned it earlier. She is a dual sports star here at ICC, not only playing softball, but a member of the soccer volleyball team. There we go. That pitch missing low and outside for a ball. 1-1 now is the count.
You can be forgiven. I think we've had Stegalls play every sport possible here
Sure.
at ICC over the years.
That is exactly right. From Pontotoc High School, we've had a bunch of Stegall.
1-1 pitch. This one hammered, hit deep. It's going to get past the diving center fielder, and that's going to drop for a double for Stegall. Clutch hit there with 2 outs.
That is their speedster in center field, too, and she was making a beeline for that ball, and that ball just kept carrying just perfectly away from her. That's part of how hard it was hit, and the wind was just taking it right where's that. 2-out rally. Let's get it going.
Well, this is what we say separates the good teams from the mediocre teams here, teams that can come up with some clutch 2-out hits. And there's a nice pitch, though, from Aslan to come back in and start the at-bat off with a strike.
I'm telling you, when you just get a big double, next hitter is amped up, ready to hit, and she throws a changeup in there. She did a good job of taking it. A lot of people would have popped it up or beat it straight in the ground because you're wanting to get the big hit right here, big 2-out hit, and that's just a great job of changing speeds. She's doing a wonderful job changing speeds and location right now and keeping us at bay, but I got a feeling we're about to get a 2-out hit.
I like it. Duhan did have a single in her last at-bat. Looks at that one, and it drops just right across the letters. 1-2 now is the count. As we said, the strike zone, she likes it up today. Awaiting the 1-2 offering here. Not that much up. 2-2 now is the count. Yeah, maybe just a little bit too amped up to throw that one.
That ball looked like it came in about 70 miles an hour after you go in and change up, and then went hard. So that's a good job of laying off of it.
So waiting the 2-2 offering here. This one hit, but it's going to be foul and out of play, and we'll sit at 2-2. 1-1 is your score. Runner at second with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Duhan at the dish. Stegall, who just doubled, is standing at second. She's got speed. 2-2 pitch. Hit to the third baseman. It's bounced off. Shortstop's going to come to third. Does not apply the tag.
Yeah, not a force play. So
look here.
And so then they do throw it back to first. So now ICC will have runners at first and third. And a big-time break there for the Indians as the third baseman did a great job of getting it down. I'm going to call it a hit because it was hit pretty hard. Andy, I'll let you,
She didn't get a glove on it. I think it just hit the inside of her knee, and, the perfect ricochet.
Yeah, I was afraid the ricochet was going to go to the shortstop in enough time to throw her out at first.
It was bang, bang. It was close. Now we got a first and third situation, and, with 2 outs, can you manufacture a run through your base running?
So now this will be Whitfield coming to the plate. She stands in, takes that first pitch for a strike. Of course, whenever I call stats up here, they're never official. We always let the coach come back and make the official call on it, but we are going to call it a hit as it was blistered pretty hard right there at third. 0-1 now is the count to Whitfield. Whitfield hits one, and it's going to get over, and this is going to score a run. Jenna Whitfield coming through for a clutch hit for ICC.
Coach Kirk called it. He's felt that 2-out rally coming, and ICC's taking advantage here.
Well, the third baseman tried to spoil it for me. I thought Duhan was going to get it there, but, man, that was perfect. That is exactly what you want. Now you're in that same situation right here, first and third. You can put some pressure on them, maybe run a play. Holmes struck out her first at bat, but it was a kind of iffy pitch. But she had saw a lot of pitches, so she's seen her.
Yeah, it's a big eye on that iffy.
Yeah. Good job by Duhan for getting from first to third in a hurry to get ICC back in scoring position here. They're up 2-1. That pitch in there for a strike to Hodum, as Andy mentioned, struck out, but she did make an outstanding play defensively out there in right field to rob what probably would have been an extra base hit for the Bulldogs on a diving catch. 0-1 is the count. There's a grounder. Second baseman going to wait for it, scoops it up, throws it over in time for the out. But ICC does get 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. We'll head to the 5th. Don't go anywhere, folks. We got a good one brewing here. Back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
When injury knocks you out, Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi will be there for you every step of the way. We are here to get you back. Back in the game. Back in motion. Back to your life. Our elite team of orthopedic specialists will work side by side with you, educating you about your treatment plan, utilizing advanced technology, and providing you with a successful path to recovery. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi. We will get you back.
Enjoy. Stuffed crust, buttery garlic spread. Little Caesars really stepped it up with their stuffed crazy crust.
They really jazzed it up. Yeah! They really plussed this crust up. They really dolled it up.
Everyone out my house. How did y'all even get in here?
The housekeeper gave me a key. Order stuffed crazy crust for $9.49 and get your game day delivered with Little Caesars.
Pizza.
Welcome back now as we head to the top of the 5th inning. ICC leads it 2-1 after an RBI single by Jenna Whitfield scored Stegall, who reached on a 2-out double in the home half of the 4th. It'll be the 6, 7, 8 batters due up here for Holmes, as that pitch missing inside for a ball, as this is Simpson, who grounded out 6-3. Just having to continue to adjust to the strike zone as we progress throughout the evening here. Is that one in there for a strike? 1-1 now is the call.
Great adjustment right there. You know, they start out the inning, they tried to bust her inside, didn't get the call again, they went right back away where they know that they've been getting some strikes with the screwball away from these left-handers.
And so that pitch missing for a ball. 2-1 now is the count. And so 2-1 now is the count here to Simpson. Williams is on deck. Brewer is in the hole here for the Bulldogs. That pitch going to miss low for a ball. 3-1 now is the count. Coach, I can tell you still got that coaching bug in you. You kind of reacting to some of these pitches here.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one not to be a strike. And that's a tough one for lefties. You know, lefties like the ball low and in. Normally, hitters do. Not to swing it.
And that one in there for a strike. And that's what we're talking about, how delayed the...
Yeah, runner took off thinking she heard nothing. There was no vocal call, just a hand raised about 5 seconds late.
So 3-2 now is the count here on Simpson, the third baseman. So waiting the 3-2 offering here from Clift. There's a slow roller. Third baseman waits on it, will get it, and step on the bag for out number 1. Nice job winning that battle there by Clift.
When she got to 2 strikes, she came back in and just sawed her off right there, and the hitter had to swing at it because she didn't feel like she was able to take it after that. The last one was called a strike. But, yeah, it's just one of those days as a pitcher you just got to, stay super just laser focused on every pitch because it's tight. As an umpire, you hope the veteran umpires, if this is a,
Grounder back to the pitcher, bobbles it, picks it up, throws it over in time. Nice recovery there by Clift.
Yeah, she bobbled that around a little bit, but kept her focus, got it over there, beats out the runner.
Good to see her laughing that one off.
Yeah, if this umpire's, not the most experienced umpire, and some just have bad days too and stuff. But if she's not, you want the other umpires to make sure that she is. And maybe down there, the wind is blowing right in our face here, even though maybe she's more vocal than what we're hearing. But umpires have to be vocal to, relay everything fair, foul. You don't see anything with fair, but for foul balls and strikes, and just keep any confusion from going on.
Big swing and a miss there for strike one, as this is Brewer at the plate trying to spark a 2-out rally here for the Bulldogs as they trail it 2-1 here in the top of the 5th inning, game 1 of 2 this afternoon between ICC and Holmes. Late on that one, 0-2 now is the count. So no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Wind picking up now, blowing back into the ballpark. Scoreboard to home plate. Brewer's going to have to guard the dish here with the 0-2 count. Pitch coming. And that went up high for a ball. Ooh. Looked like for a second she wanted to call that one a strike, and actually looked like the Holmes player started to walk away thinking that it was a strike.
When we were kids, they called that psych. Remember when you say
yeah.
psych?
Yes.
She faked me out.
Yes.
I thought she was calling it.
So 2-2 now is the count here on Brewer.
Especially when we look at the body language that the umpire has exhibited. That's the kind of motion with her left foot going back when she normally slowly steps back and then makes the motion. So she got everybody.
So the 2-2 pitch here. Swung on and missed for strike 3.
Great
Big time
game.
Renaissance Bank strikeout there for Clift as she closes in on 100 on the season. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
Guaranteed Bank, formerly known as First American National Bank, is a proud supporter of ICC athletics. Visit gbtonline.com. Guaranteed Bank, we're more than a bank, we're a community.
They say Diet Coke is a mom's drink. Well, you copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music. Now, copy her drink. Drink what your mama gave you.
Today tastes like staying in. And it never tasted this good.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we head now to the bottom of the 5th inning for ICC. It'll be the 9-1-2 batters due up here. It'll be Graham, Porter, and Nichols. And, Coach, if you're ICC, this is right where you want to be in this lineup here. See if you can try to extend on this 1-run lead as Coach Owens and Coach Munson talking about something. He must have told her a good joke because she started laughing at him.
I think they got some good strategy going on. That was a pretty good conversation they had, probably about where they're at in the lineup. Like I said, 9-1-2, second time through right here for your 9-hole hitter, but you're arguably your best hitter on deck for the 3rd time seeing the same pitcher is why you also see Holmes with some action going on in the bullpen down there because of it being the 3rd time through. It's hard to go through this league. No matter who you're playing, this league is so tough, and for a pitcher to face the lineup 3 or 4 times is really, really, really tough.
This is going to be Graham starting us off. Fouls that one off for strike 1.
Appears to be Sarton. And Elise Sarton. It's down there in the bullpen for the Bulldogs.
She's second on their team in innings pitched, so she's probably one of their what we call everyday Eddies that can throw both in both games if she needs to.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. That's the 68th pitch of the game there for Aslan, as Cliff has thrown 83 in the contest.
Very efficient for both pitchers have thrown excellent.
So 0-2 is the count. Graham looks at that one. Not a bad spot to miss up high to see if he can get her to chase one with a pitch to waste.
And not to say, what their strike to ball ratio is, but as we have discussed with the umpire situation, it's just strike zone has been very good. Both pitched very well for it to be a 2-1 game.
Yes. 2-2 now is the count here on Graham. She's playing in left field today. Made a great play for a ball, a diving effort that couldn't come up with it, but one of those efforts that kind of inspire your teammates saying, hey, if she's going to play that way, I've got to play that way. There's a grounder. It's going to be a slow one back to the pitcher. Throw across the way is in time. Well, that one, the way it kind of bounced for a second, thought you might have a chance to leg that one out, but a nice job there by Aslan to protect the circle and get the out.
And a good reaction by the first baseman there, McGee, because she did have a quick throw and it was lifting up a little bit. She did a good job to pull that in and get the out.
So now back to the top of the lineup here. This is going to be Porter coming to the plate. Porter is 0 for 1 with the walk. Takes that pitch low for a ball.
A lot of people don't realize how hard a play that was for the pitcher because, like I said, she's thrown now in the 70s underhanded, and then she has to throw one overhanded. It is a totally different throwing motion, to field one. And we used to do a deal between innings where they'd throw some underhand, and then the last one they would throw overhand just for that purpose right there, because we have seen a lot of pitchers field bunts and throw them down that right field line because they're not used to throwing overhand anymore.
That pitch drifts back in the zone for a strike. 2-1 now is the count here to Porter.
Third time through the lineup. It should be, they've seen everything she's got. It's now just being about patience and picking out your pitch.
So winning the 2-1 offering here. And that one a beauty right down the middle. 2-2 now is the count.
She might wish she had had that one back.
Yeah. I said that was one of those that.
She was probably looking for something else and got something she wasn't looking for.
2-2 pitch. Hops across for a ball. Now the count goes full here to Porter. There is one out in the inning. Nobody on. Porter 0 for 1 with the walk today. Indians lead it 2-1 here in the bottom of the fifth in game one. And she draws a walk for the second at bat in a row here, and a nice job of being patient at the plate by Porter.
When these close games, only 2-1, you want those base runners. So you get them on there, and we know these 2, 3, 4, 5 batters can move them over.
And so now this will be Nichols coming to the plate. She walked, stole a base, advanced on a pass ball to third, and eventually scored on a pass ball. Grounded out 4-3 in her most recent at bat here. Third baseman coming in extremely tight in this situation. And that pitch across for strike one.
With Porter getting on base, she's third actually in the MACCC on base percentage at .594. Lauren Brown was sixth before her injury, and that's where we miss her, just getting on base.
Yeah. Shows bunt, pulls it back, snap throw down to first is not in time as Porter dives back without an issue.
More people you can get on base, more pressure you can put on a defense. Right here you see the outfield is positioned for the slap hitter.
Nichols gets this one over the head. It's going to drop a fair ball.
Run away.
Slices into the corner.
And we're going to see if they're going to try to send her home. Now she bobbles it. And ICC Holmes will catch a break that ICC was putting on the brakes in that situation. But a big-time double off the bat of Nichols.
You're right. When she bobbles in that corner and the kind of speed that Porter has, she easily could have got home if they were being more aggressive in that particular situation.
Was that my eyes, or just the ball was in her hand up against the fence too, wasn't it? The fence kind of helped her.
The fence helped her out big time on that one. Now this is going to be Marlar at the dish. She swings on the first one she sees, fouls it off for strike one. There is one out here. Runners on second and third. Marlar, if she can hit one like she did in the first at bat, which is a line drive right at the left fielder, if she can find that one over the middle, it could be trouble.
That wind is picking up, and here's your RBI leader right here. That's the person you want at the plate.
That wind is some kind of wicked right now. Ball gets away. Wild pitch will allow the run to score and the runner to advance to third.
Right before the pitcher made that pitch, I don't know if you noticed, she wobbled a little bit. I think that gust hit her and it knocked her, and then she started her motion, and she's throwing these change-ups. And that wind can affect change-ups. It can make them carry, and she's trying to keep it down. There
that one ripped, and that's going to score another one, and that's going to be a clutch hit there for Marlar.
Yeah, that is exactly what we've seen out of her all year, driving in runs, getting doubles, getting home runs, whatever it takes. And, yeah, she, like I said, she just missed that one in the first inning, but she gets that one in a great spot, runs it down the left field line. Easy for Nichols to walk home and score on that.
Big-time clutch hit there for Marlar. We'll have a runner coming into this situation. This will be Green entering to run for ICC. Take a look at Green coming in to run in this situation. It'll be Shands at the plate now.
A little tidbit about Green. Her grandmother, Karen Green, legendary coach at Potts Camp High School. She was cross country, about every sport, just like all of us did coming through, and was president of the MAC at one time.
Okay.
Mississippi Association of Coaches. Yeah, it was her grandmother.
Nice. Green's got 9 stolen bases, so she's been given these opportunities to pinch run already and taking great advantage of them.
So Shands at the plate. And hammers this one. It's got a chance. It's deep, and it's gone. A 2-run home run by Shands, and ICC has opened this one up in the bottom of the 5th.
She got that one and looked it out much like she did against Jones last week. Just got every bit of that one with the wind going, takes it out to right.
Big time shot there by Shands, and the Indians' bats have woken up here. A 2-run home run by Shands, and I tell you what, guys, she has been swinging a hot bat here of late.
Yeah, she came into today batting .397. She's really stepped it up since conference play started, really.
And we may have a pitching change coming up here as Coach from Holmes is going to come out and have a quick conversation. Time out on the field. Let's take it with them and be back with more right after this.
Guaranteed Bank, formerly known as First American National Bank, is a proud supporter of ICC athletics. Visit gbtonline.com. Guaranteed Bank. We're more than a bank. We're a community.
LSU takes it. We'll be back next March.
Come on, y'all. This is what we've been working for. We gotta forget about last year. It's right here, right now. Y'all ready?
Are you looking for a place
that creates lifelong friendships? A place that feels like home.
A place that drives you to new opportunities.
That teaches you skills to improve.
A place that sets the standard.
That challenges you to be better every day.
A place full of opportunity.
We are that place. We are Itawamba Community College, and you belong here.
Guaranteed Bank, formerly known as First American National Bank, is a proud supporter of ICC athletics. Visit gbtonline.com. Guaranteed Bank. We're more than a bank. We're a community.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We do have a call to the bullpen being brought to you by Guaranteed Bank here in Fulton. And Michael, tell us about the new pitcher.
This is Annalise Sarton. She comes in today with a 3.07 ERA, 3 wins and 3 losses in 9 appearances. She's pitched 43.1 innings, given up 31 runs, 52 hits, 19 of those runs earned, 12 walks, and 19 strikeouts.
Those stats being brought to you by the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi. At first pitch, missing for a ball, as this is Sadie Stegall that will be welcoming her to the contest. Sadie had the double and scored a run back in the 4th inning. Listen to that pitch, high and outside, ball 2. 2-0 now is the count. Sarton relieving Aslan, who is still on the hook here for the decision. And this one's going to be fouled off. 2-1 now is the count. Nobody on base, so you can go ahead and close the book on Aslan for the day. And so Stegall, 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored. Working with a 2-1 count. Oh, nice change up there, but a good eye, as that was a tough pitch to hold off on, and Stegall was able to hold back and not take a chop at that one. So 3-1 now is the count. And that one missing for a ball. And again, you kind of have to wait to see if it's going to be called a strike or a ball in this situation. And she will draw the walk.
She made the motion with the catcher, asked where it's at. She told her that ball was out. Because I was going to say, it definitely wasn't high for Stegall, as tall as she is, you know.
For sure.
Had to be off the plate just slightly.
Well, the home plate umpire was saying something to the ICC dugout and just said, never mind. As that pitch in there for a strike, as this is Duhan at the plate. She's been a tough out today.
She's got back-to-back singles. Was thrown out once and stranded at third once.
So she'll dig in after taking that first pitch for a strike. That one missing outside for a ball. 1-1 now is the count.
I'm going to say the umpire was probably asking for some balls to put in her bags. Looks like her bags are empty.
So now waiting the 1-1 count. And this one lifted but foul, and Coach would not make a play on that one.
Yeah, I thought Coach Owens almost want to reach out.
And
hearing it from
it
from Duhan. Well, why'd you get that, Coach?
And he goes back and watches the game film after the games as well. So, Coach, shame on you. Lead by example. Make the play.
There you go. Lay out.
We saw him dancing out of a few of them last Friday.
Foul ball makes it a 1-2 count now.
Coach got some moves now.
That one high. Snap, throw down to first. Not in time. No.
Like I tell him, it's nice to be young.
Yes, it is. I was talking with someone on the way in, and he's like, man, you look tired. I was like, man, I am not 23-year-old Gore anymore. And it's hard to accept that. 2-2 pitch blasted out to right field, and it's going to drop for extra bases. This could score a run here. Duhan rounding second, heading to third. Stegall heading home. The throw is up the line, and ICC will get the run.
Makes Duhan 3 for 3 on the day now with that RBI triple.
Big-time clutch hit there. Love the effort out in right field by the Holmes player. It's one of those that if she doesn't lay out for it, it still gets down there, but a great job by Duhan. She didn't even think twice about checking up on that one, and she will drive in the run, and ICC goes up 7-1 with one out and a runner at third.
Now, you saw Duhan's speed there because she was almost outpacing Stegall around the bases.
That pitch right down the middle as this is Whitfield. Whitfield come up with a clutch RBI single to break open break up the tie to give ICC the 2-1 lead back in the fourth inning.
That was a huge hit at the time, yes, to extend the lead to 2-1. And now this third time through the lineup, we have really found our groove. And then even with them changing pitchers, we're still hitting it where they're not.
So Jenna will dig in with a 1-1 count. Looks at that pitch inside for a ball. 2-1 now. The count here to Whitfield.
Yeah, you're seeing these ICC batters see the ball a little better after knowing what this umpire is calling. Kind of fought through that in the first couple innings, and now they're really finding their spots.
This one hit hard, but right at the shortstop. Good hard hit there. Just play a little atom ball that time.
Just lined it right at her. It actually moves a little bit in the wind.
It sure did move.
So good job by the shortstop there. The shortstop is Cortez to stay with that and keep her eye on the ball and track it in.
Yeah, she definitely had to because that ball did cut. It darted back to the right, and we got a pinch hitter here for the Indians in the ninth.
Yeah, this will be Maddie McClendon coming into bat. She's a sophomore out of Brookhaven. So she'll come in. I tell you what, guys, she has been solid, and I hope I'm not jinxing her right now by saying this, but she's been solid in these situations all season long for ICC.
Yeah, limited at bats, only 13, but it's batting .308 in there. A double, a couple triples, and a home run.
Looks at that first pitch. It's going to be on the outer edge for a strike. And, Michael, what's she looking like in the RBI category? Because it seems like when she does bat, she's driving in runs.
Yeah, she's got 7 RBIs in those 13 at bats. So,
man, that's huge production right there.
Good situational hitting.
Looks at that one. It's going to be called a strike. 0-2 now is the count. And as I said, as soon as I start hyping her up here, she's going to be like, hey, Gore, next time I come to the plate, just say my name and that's it. 0-2 now is the count. McClendon looks at that pitch high for a ball. 1-2 now, the count. Runner at third. That's a triple by Duhan that pushed across the run to give ICC the 7-1 lead here in the bottom of the fifth. Waits on it, hits it up the middle, and McClendon doing McClendon things as she drives in the run there for ICC.
Just fires that straight back over the pitcher's head into short center field.
That is a hard job to do. Come off the bench, sitting there, and limited at bats. It takes a special skill to be a pinch hitter. To come in, be focused, knowing you're only going to see a few pitches, and to produce like she has. That's an unbelievable rate she's producing at.
And now this is going to be Camden Taylor coming into bat here. She'll bat in place of Graham in that 9 spot. Camden is a freshman out of Marshall Academy, so she will dig in with 2 outs and a runner at first after that RBI single by McClendon. She can hit for power. Can Taylor, as that ball is going to get in the dirt, and the runner will advance to second.
You know what that runner represents.
It does.
Share that with us,
Coach. That was huge. That could be the winning run there. The 8-run rule, getting in scoring position with another pinch hitter.
So, Taylor will dig in as that first pitch missing for a ball. Fouls this one right back at you. 1-1 now is the count.
I think Mr. Upton had that one.
He did.
Yep. He was going to lay out for it.
We talk about McClendon stepping up when you need to. Taylor the same way, batting .400 in her opportunities. 8 at-bats, 4 of those doubles, and a home run with 4 RBI. So these bench players doing what they need to.
Throw back, and it gets away, but not far enough for the runner to advance here. Got to be careful in that situation. McClendon not necessarily hustling back as she didn't expect to throw as it was late. But as you said, the young lady from Holmes that's behind the plate, Brewer, she's got a cannon that a lot of people mistake as her right arm.
That's right.
This one popped up.
The wind's going to get that one.
Say it's going to carry that back and out of play.
Onto the party deck, and then back toward the Chad Case pickleball courts.
We don't have the fundraiser going on today. It'll be the Boggs versus Case pickleball. A little windy for that, probably.
Yeah, I would say they're waiting for the perfect conditions to be able to play in this one.
The pickleball might end up in the 10-tom today if anybody did a lob shot.
Scoreboard saying 1-2. I've got 2-2. Taylor stands in, fouls this one off.
Or, with this win, though, it could end up at your house, Score.
Very well could.
Gets above the trees, that's gone.
The lake is up today, so could lose it out in the water. So Taylor will dig in, and that one in the dirt. Runner will advance to third. Nice heads-up base running.
Great base running.
Yeah, did not hesitate. Once she saw it was in the dirt, was able to come back and hustle down and get to third.
And that puts the pressure on the pitcher and catcher, even though there's 2 outs right here with that runner at third. Pass ball, wild pitch, ends the game.
This one popped up. It's going to be trouble. Now the wind blowing it back in, but the second baseman found it, and that's a big out. Boy, that ball was headed towards center field, shifted to the shortstop, and then blew all the way into the second baseman. That is what type of wind we're dealing with today, folks. But ICC gets a big inning there. 6 runs on 5 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We'll take a break, head to the top of the 6th, and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
Another great Saturday of college football.
You're always pushing yourself. There's no time to rest. You keep moving forward. The only thing better than your last accomplishment is your next.
What's next? What's next?
What's next?
So, Allie, what's next?
I guess we'll see.
Find a bank that's as excited about your future as you are. A bank that asks,
What's next?
Renaissance Bank. Understanding you.
When injury knocks you out, Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi will be there for you every step of the way. We are here to get you back in the game, back in motion, back to your life. Our elite team of orthopedic specialists will work side by side with you, educating you about your treatment plan, utilizing advanced technology, and providing you with a successful path to recovery. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi. We will get you back.
Welcome back here as we move now to the top of the 6th inning. Big inning there for the Indians as they put 6 on the board to take an 8-1 lead here in Game 1 over Holmes. As this will be the 9-1-2 batters. Well, this is where ICC got things started in the previous inning, was with their 9-1-2 batters. And so right now, if you're Holmes, you want to say, hey, look, we might be down, but we can still climb back in this thing. Just got to take it one at bat at a time.
Yeah, on the flip side, Clift has really adjusted well after trying to figure out the umpire early, and has really worked strong in the last 2 innings, getting last 3 innings, getting 3 up, 3 down. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That first pitch across for a strike from Clift.
You're exactly right, Mr. Upton. They her job is just fill up the strike zone. Right now, your teams gave you a 7-run lead, and let's just fill it up, make them hit, save as many pitches as you can.
Showing bunt. Bunts it foul for strike 2.
Yeah, you saw Porter see that, make the motion to her defense to crash in as they prepared to, but that one did go foul.
So 0-2 now is the count. This is Cortez and then Miles and Fabry scheduled up. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Guys, I believe that might be strikeout 100 on the season for Clift.
That is.
So a big-time strikeout there for Clift. She's got 7 in the game today.
Again, as I said a minute ago, just a little frustration in the first inning, trying to figure out where she can get that. But to come back and hit 7 and all these up and down innings has been great.
There's a foul ball. It's going to go for strike one. Just got a text from our good buddy Steve Diffie as we talked about the SID. He does a lot of things over there for Holmes, but he just asked the questions. Got enough golf carts in center field? As we did say earlier today, Diff, we do have a season high 10 at one point. I think one of them just left. There's a grounder right back to the pitcher, and 1-3 on the putout for out number 2.
But if you're out there watching today's game, there's still game 2 to go. So anybody in Fulton, let's see if we can set a record. Get your vehicles out here, side-by-sides, golf carts, whatever you got. Maybe George Jones on a lawnmower, whatever we can come up with.
So now be Fabry, the center fielder, coming to the plate, 0 for 1 the day with the sacrifice bunt.
One of my favorite sayings in a song, but she forgot about my old John Deere. He's riding a lawnmower.
As that pitch in there for a strike.
Gets that inside call to left batter.
She did. She got that call.
Haven't been a lot of those today, but did get that one.
So 0-1 is the count here. There's a grounder. First baseman finds it and called it foul. So that'll go for a strike.
She threw her hands up. I didn't hear her yell foul, but undoubtedly they heard her down there. So, that wind's probably got us a little bit because the runner stopped. And it looked like it was close to the line, but, definitely foul.
Good job by the umpire. She shifted quickly to get down the line and make that call.
Yep, because
it was quick.
It's her call until it gets to the bases. Then once it gets past third or first base, it's that base umpire's call. Mm-hmm. So, and that is, I've mentioned that before. You talk about 60-foot bases. That is the hardest call these umpires have compared to a baseball umpire having 30 more feet to see that fair or foul ball if it goes close to that base.
1-2 pitch here, and that one missing up high. She was set up on the outside, but the ball drifted back inside. So 2-2 now is the count here to Fabry. So waiting the 1-2 offering here. Pitch coming, and there's strike 3.
Got her looking for the second time today. Strikeout number 101 for Alyssa Clift.
So a big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout. Let's hear from Renaissance Bank. We'll be back with more right after this.
That's what you do, but I just don't know which way to turn. I'm about to dance in my pain.
When injury knocks you out, Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi will be there for you every step of the way. We are here to get you back in the game, back in motion, back to your life. Our elite team of orthopedic specialists will work side by side with you, educating you about your treatment plan, utilizing advanced technology, and providing you with a successful path to recovery. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi. We will get you back.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we head now to the bottom of the 6th inning. ICC up 8-1 here in Game 1 over Holmes. It was a big 6-run bottom of the 5th that's made the difference in the game so far. ICC batted around +1 in that previous at-bat, so we're going to start things off with the 1-2-3 batters due up here in the bottom of the 6th. It'll be Maddie Porter to start us off here for the Indians. She's walked twice, grounded out to the third baseman. She stands in, takes that first pitch inside for a ball.
And it was Porter who started that one-out rally in the 5th by drawing a walk, advancing to third, and eventually scoring.
So waiting the 1-0 pitch here. That pitch a little up.
Talking about the new facility and how nice it is, beautiful it is. I just stepped out in the hallway, and the wind is so rough that we've got the assistant to the president, Mr. Tyler Kemp, and our athletic director, Mr. Chad Case, on each door in the hallway here because the wind is keep blowing them open on the side, so they're having to get them locked back and stuff. So that tells you that's something you're not used to.
Yeah, say kind of learning the new building, some of the oddities of it as we break it in. As that pitch missing low for a ball, 3-1 now is the count. I wonder if since the building and stuff like that you have to learn stuff, does the guy that the field's named after have to come fix it?
There's got to be some sweat equity.
There's got to be some sweat equity put into that. Don't you think?
Can we lock this door?
That pitch is going to miss low. Third at bat in a row here that Porter has walked on. And if anybody's wondering what that inside joke is, the field is named after Coach Andy Kirk, who's joining us in the broadcast today.
That is a great honor, too. I'm very appreciative of Itawamba Community College. It's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into that. A lot of players, that's for sure. But let's end this game right here in the 6th. How about that?
There's that wind gusting once again as that pitch missing for a ball. And we talked about the wind, and we said it, and we're not joking when we say this. It looked like it actually blew the pitcher when she got ready to release the pitch and caused a wild pitch that allowed a run to score for ICC. Shows bunt, stabs at it, couldn't connect. 1-1 now is the count.
This is Nichols' center fielder. 1 for 2. She's walked, had a big double. She's got a pair of runs on the day.
So waiting a 1-1 count here. There's a grounder. Second baseman's going to get it. She's going to go for 1, and that's all they're going to get on the fielder's choice.
They were trying to get the win and run into scoring position, but worst thing could happen is, your best base stealer's still on base. So
yes.
that's we look at best scenario we can have. So hopefully she can steal second right here, and AB can knock her in.
Or Marla can just park one over the fence and call it a day. She
can do it.
This is the first pitch, and instead she's going to take one for the team. And Nichols, I like it. That's what she hustled around to third, not realizing that the batter had been hit by a pitch.
Right. She thought, with the number of passed balls we've seen behind the plate for Holmes, being aggressive is very smart there.
It's one of those hustle plays you like to see as a coach.
You love that as a coach. That's what, as a third base coach for many years, I used to tell them, I'm a stop sign, not a go sign. I'll stop you, but you just keep running on your own. And she did that. She's so aggressive.
Now this is Shands at the plate. She hit a home run in her last at bat, and that pitch missing for a ball. 1-0 is the count. Yep. She's 1 for 3 on the day with a strikeout and that 2-run home run and a run scored. Runners on first and second. Runner at second represents the game-winning run. That's going to be a ball to the shortstop. It's going to get through, and they're going to try to score the run. Nichols is going to be there, and that's going to be it. Ball game as ICC will get the win. And here in game 1, as a interesting finish there, as she stretched out for the ball, trying to make the diving catch, and then just a great heads-up aggressiveness there by Coach and Lakeland to be able to get that run across. ICC wins it by the final score of 9-1. We're going to take a break, come back for the Renaissance Bank postgame report, and more here from Fulton right after this.
That's what you do, but I just don't know which way to turn. I'm about to dance in my pain.
When injury knocks you out, Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi will be there for you every step of the way. We are here to get you back in the game, back in motion, back to your life. Our elite team of orthopedic specialists will work side by side with you, educating you about your treatment plan, utilizing advanced technology, and providing you with a successful path to recovery. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi. We will get you back.
Another great Saturday of college football.
You're always pushing yourself. There's no time to rest. You keep moving forward. The only thing better than your last accomplishment is your next.
What's next? What's next?
What's next?
So, Allie, what's next?
I guess we'll see.
Find a bank that's as excited about your future as you are. A bank that asks,
What's next?
Renaissance Bank. Understanding you.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here in the Renaissance Bank postgame report. ICC picked it up a 9-1 win here in Game 1 today. And, guys, your thoughts on Game 1?
Oh, man, with the conditions they are, coming off playing the number one team in the country and, moving up in the rankings, it's in the weather. It's just not your typical good day, but I'm telling you what, this bunch just perseveres through so much, and it was great to see them just grind and find a way to pull out the W today.
Michael?
Indeed, the various conditions, whether they're man-made or natural-made, you adjust to them. You do what you need to do, and ICC stepped up and got beyond any early frustrations, and everyone contributed around the way to make this a big team win at the plate.
Absolutely. We're going to go over the final line being brought to you by the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, and this is one thing we did not realize until we just looked at the final stats. Final line tonight for ICC, 9 runs, 10 hits, no errors. For Holmes, 1 run, no hits, no errors. So Alyssa Cliff not only surpassing 100 strikeouts on the season, tossing a no-hitter today in conference play. That's big.
That is huge. I mean, like we said, that the strike zone was a little bit tough for her early, but, she just showed her maturity of just finding what the umpire was going to call. Coach Owens calling a great game over there and her executing the game plan, and that's just that doesn't happen very often. To have a no-hitter is just it's hard to go out there in this league against any team in this league and give up no hits.
Yeah, big outing there. Let's take a look at some final stats for ICC. You had Porter 0 for 1 today with 3 walks. Nichols was 1 for 3 with a double. 2 runs scored as she walked, stole a base back in the first inning. Marler had a hit. She was also hit by a pitch. She scored twice. That was not. That was Nichols that scored. So she only scored once. Shands was 2 for 4 on the day with a 2-run home run and that game-winning RBI there to close things out early here. Stegall 1 for 2 on the day with a double, a run scored, and a walk. Duhan a big day. She was 3 for 3 with a triple and an RBI and a run scored. You had Whitfield. She came in clutch and she kind of broke open things in ICC's favor to give us a 2-1 lead with an RBI single. That was her only hit of the day. Then you had Hodem was 0 for 2. Graham was 0 for 2. McClendon came in and did a big job. She's done all season long. Came with a clutch hit. She was 1 for 1 with an RBI. And then also it was Taylor who was 0 for 1 the day with a pop-up that started in center field, went to short, and ended up at second with the way the wind's been blowing today. So those are your stats being brought to you there as you're watching some of the Little Caesars instant replays here as well. Guys, got a little meat left on the bone here as we got to pick our Samstown Market star of the game. Fans, we do want to remind you, if you want to be the star of your next meal, you got to start things off at Samstown Market there in Manatee. Guys, I'm going to let y'all kind of talk this over amongst yourselves and see who you want to pick for today's star of the game.
I'm going to go on the offensive side and go with Ella Duhan. She has not had the best batting average, on the year, but she gets on base a lot, and it was great to see her go 3 for 3 with 2 singles and a triple today. So that is huge, coming out of the middle of your lineup right there. Needing that production. The longer your lineup is, the more productive you're going to be, and it's going to wear pitchers down. So getting that production coming behind those other hitters in front of her was big for Ella today.
Ella Duhan is going to be our offensive player of the game. And so that leaves one more. And, Michael, I think everybody knows who this one's going to be.
Yeah, this is the easy one. Alyssa Cliff coming in today, pitching the no-hitter and getting 8 strikeouts, overcoming a little adversity in the first inning of, not understanding exactly where the umpire wanted things and fighting against the wind, fighting against everything. Comes in, again, no hits, only walks 2, gets her 11th win of the year. So fantastic outing today by Alyssa.
And a key fact here, those 2 walks were all the way back in the first inning. So able to recover well. Defense played solid behind her as well. So those are our Samstown Market stars of the game, Ella Duhan and Alyssa Clift here in the ICC 9-1 win in Game 1. We're going to take about a 30-minute break, come back with Game 2 here from Fulton. We'll have the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works starting lineups and more back in about 30 minutes here on the ICC Sports Network.
That's what you do, but I just don't know which way to turn. I'm about to dance in my brain.
Are you looking for a place
that creates lifelong friendships? A place that feels like home.
A place that drives you to new opportunities.
That teaches you skills to improve.
A place that sets the standard.
That challenges you to be better every day.
A place full of opportunity.
We are that place. We are Itawamba Community College, and you belong here.